Hello, welcome to EHC-TV, and this is Chandler Foster, and this is your news interview. You know, college can be hard to navigate sometimes, but luckily we have people to help us with that, i.e. advisors. And joining me on set now is Sam Davis. Sam, thank you for being here.
I'm happy to be here.
So, I understand we're going through registration right now, and advisors do help with that, but what else do you all do outside of registration, like all year round?
Yeah, so obviously registration is kind of the big moment of the year, try to get people in classes, but we are here all year round to help with all kinds of things, namely kind of helping students figure out what classes they should take based on what their experiences have been in class, what they've enjoyed, right? Helping them choose a major. Major declaration is a big part of what we do, and I'd say the other big piece is we're there to help with kind of academic struggles. You know, if students are finding themselves struggling with time management or just catching up on things, we're there to kind of help them through that and connect them with any resources that could be helpful in that world. Yeah.
Now, what specific jobs do you take on as the Director of New Student Advising?
So I work with, specifically I work with undecided students, the students that are still trying to figure out what they want to major in. But I also work primarily with the transfer student population. So any students that come in from any other institution, I'll be the first one to work with them until they declare and go with a academic advisor in their major.
Oh, okay. What can students do to decide and declare what their major is going to be?
Gosh, we've got all kinds of resources. The website in the portal in my hub, there's a personality assessment called Focus 2 that can help you narrow down, kind of using your interests, using your skills, your strengths, to narrow down to some majors that kind of align with those interests and show you what careers those majors could eventually go into. And so we're here to kind of help guide through that, through results, and help make discernments about what they want to do. And there's a lot of things that people can do with a lot of different majors, so a lot of conversation is good. Yeah.
So should a student be concerned if they don't have a major the first year? Should that be a worry?
In the first year, absolutely not. I mean, there's a couple of majors that you really want to be planning ahead with, like nursing, education, and engineering are three that really you want to get started on early. But other than that, there's some wiggle room in most majors where you could declare in your second, third year, as long as you've been working on your core requirements and trying stuff out, that you'll be just fine. The main thing to remember is for athletes, I think you have to declare by the end of your second year to be eligible to play. So that's just the other thing to remember.
Now, you all help declare majors. Do you all help with minors as well?
Yeah, majors and minors, same thing. To declare a major, you need approval from the department chair of that major, but you don't need approval just to add a minor for any minor.
Now, talk about first-year advisors. What exactly is their role, and how do they help students prepare for college?
Sure. So that's one of my roles as first-year advisor and the director of new student advising. But we also have two fantastic first-year advisors, Sydney Briner and Jacob Thompson, who have a lot of experience working with first-year students. Navigating that first year is always a big adjustment, kind of no matter who you are. And so they're there to kind of help guide along the milestones of that, looking at majors, talking about classes, figuring out, let's say you think you're going to fail a class, how are we going to plan forward to maybe avoid that in the future and see what that means for what you might want to major in going forward.
Now, what are some good ways to utilize, like how are some ways we can utilize the Student Success Center and all the services that come with?
Well, gosh, anytime, right now is pretty busy for us in registration, but we consider ourselves a kind of a drop-in center. If you've got a need, something you need help with, just walk right in. And somebody will be in there to help you. And if we're all busy, we'll let you know how to schedule. Now, I think most people in the center, if you look up on the website, you can find our profiles, and on each of our profiles you should be able to find a link that will have an ability to schedule a meeting. So if you want to make sure one of us is available at a certain time, you want to go on there and schedule a meeting with one of us.
All right. Well, one more question here, Sam. What advice would you give to students as an advisor, especially this time of year when midterms have just passed and now we're coming up on final exams here not too long from now?
So my number one piece of advice, I'd say especially at this time of year, but any time of year, is communicate, right? Reach out to your advisor, reach out to your professors, check in if you're worried about grades or your work, see if there's stuff that you're missing or stuff that a professor can kind of clarify for you, so that you're not just sitting there confused about what you're supposed to be doing or turning in until it's too late. Now, tomorrow is the last withdrawal deadline. So if you are struggling to pass a class, say your professor comes to you and says, hey, I really don't think you're going to be able to pass this class, tomorrow is the last day that you have to come in and withdraw from a class. And withdrawal just means you're taking yourself out of the class. It doesn't affect your GPA. It still shows on your transcript that you took the class but withdrew. Eventually it would affect your progress if you keep withdrawing from classes, but it's an important way to kind of avoid getting Fs if it's not totally necessary.
Well, Sam, this has all been really good information, and thank you so much for coming in. For EHC-TV, this has been Chandler Foster with your news interview, and I'll see you next time.